What is up, guys? It's your boy Q, or Rainfire Tactical. I've seen a bunch of videos with a bunch of guys doing their 2025 gun collection. So this is gonna be my Q1, Q2 of 2025 video. And we're gonna see how this ends at the end of the year. So stay tuned, rock with me real quick. We're gonna run through a couple of different guns. Y'all let me know what you think in the comments. All right, we're gonna start from, I guess we can go from like oldest gun I've had to some of the new cops. So with that being said, all weapons have already been checked and tested. Make sure they're clear and good to go. So we'll start with this one right here. So this is a SCO 15 lower, silencer code lower. Gray, tungsten gray handguard. I can't remember who makes it, but nothing crazy, just a regular M-lock rail. Die-free code grip, you'll see a trend here. Reminder, this is one of the first things I ever built years ago. So Romeo and Juliet, Sig Sauer, red dotted magnifier. It has a Rise armament cassette trigger in it. This is new, reared in, hub compatible brake so that I can get my cans on and off with no issues quickly. Basically, B5 furniture. It's just a good rifle. It's a 350 Legend. That's what it's chambered in. It's a straight wall casing. I don't hunt like that often. I will hunt if the guys want to go hunt, but so far it's probably been to the range once or twice, and that's really about the extent of it. All right, so next up we're gonna run with probably the second or third oldest gun that I have, and that is going to be my 14.5 Geissele Super Duty. It's all ODG. Reared in again on the muzzle brake. Very, very, very clean heat treated color on all of those. I really like all of the reared in brakes, and that's kind of what I've stuck with ever since I started having issues with the cherry bombs from Q. Also clear, has the battle arms charging handle on here. Rise armament trigger, again another cassette trigger. I thought that was the bee's knees back when I started, and I just haven't changed them out. This one has an ADM 10 position buffer tube, the B5 Bravo stock, B5 grip, and I mean, yeah, I think it's a Roscoe barrel, Roscoe handguard, Fail Zero bolt carrier in nickel. And I mean, it's a solid shooter, Daniel Defense iron sights, and a aim point duty RDS on it. Solid little gun, solid little setup. Haven't had really any complaints with this gun. It shoots when you want it to shoot, and you hit whatever target you're aiming for. So pretty good one on that one. So yeah, quick overview of the gun, basically from tip to butt. There's the reared end. Let you get a good look at it here. Rise trigger, and yeah, so that's number 2. All right, next up, what we're gonna pull is the Kalashnikov KP9. Super fun little gun here. So this is going to be a Zenico clone hand rail. It has the Pursed 4 on it, IR laser and visible laser with the pressure pad on the side here, Romeo 5 red dot, and the ALG trigger, which makes it go nice and fast. You also have the US Palms Plum grip on it, as well as a little foldy stock. It is an SBR, but we'll talk more about that in another video as well. And then of course, cherry bomb muzzle brake, because we shoot everything suppressed around here. Alright, next up, we're gonna run with Paw shotgun. So it's a 12 gauge pump. It's too long to even get the entire thing into the video at one time, but I'll be honest and say that I bought this because I realized I didn't have a shotgun at the time, and it has sat on my gun wall ever since. So I don't know. I want to do something cool with it, maybe SBS it and put a nice grip on it and do some things. So we'll see about doing that here in the future. Let me know what you think about that in the comments. All right, so next we're gonna pull up the baby right here. This is 10.3 Mark 18 clone. This is a Noveske receiver, upper receiver, and I have a Centurion lower on here currently. SBR Geissele 3-gun trigger in it. It's my favorite trigger. It's gonna be in multiple guns. That's just how I get down. Reptilia grip. Another B5 Bravo stock. You really just can't beat them. Radiant charge and handle along with the Noveske upper there. And then you have the Daniel Defense Riz 2, because that's mandatory on any Mark 18 clone. EOTech XPS2, Landtac M-Spec bulk carrier, four controls on the majority of the controls of the gun, as well as the castle nut end plate. Radiant safety selector on pretty much every single gun you'll see here. Can't really beat their safety selectors. Radiant takedown pins. It's a really solid gun, as well as the cloud defense. I think that's the Rain flashlight, cloud defensive. Had it for a long time on an Arasaka mount. Solid gun. Suppressor sits flush on it when you do have it on. It actually sits directly at the end of the rail, so it looks really cool. I think I want to get a Surefire can for this just because it fits this build so perfectly. So let me know what you think. If you have a Surefire can, definitely let me know if there's any pros and big cons against it, because this is really the only reason why I would buy it is for the Mark 18. Alright, so this next one we have here, this is a Centurion receiver set. So it's an upper and lower Centurion CM4. Got the MKM grip on here. Another Radiant safety selector. This was designed, it's an 18-inch 6-arc. So originally I wanted it like a Mark 12-ish DMR style gun. That's what I was going after. Exposed gas blocks, so you're able to adjust it easily. Cherry bomb muzzle brake. Arkin 6-24 by 50 scope. Super clean scope. And then the PRS light stock. I will tell you, I have shot this gun one time. It is a super solid gun, soft shooting, and it's very accurate, but I just haven't found myself needing or wanting to go shoot 6-arc continuously for no reason. The aftermarket support's much better now than when I built this gun, so there are multiple companies making 6-arc, so that makes it a little bit better. But yeah, I'm gonna get back into it though, man. I want to do some long distance shooting, and this is a gun that can easily achieve some good distances. So we'll see about that in the future. Next up, we're gonna run the Noveske chainsaw. Now this gun was a pain, super pain. I think it's an 8.2 inch 300 blackout. Really gave me hell getting it to cycle properly with subs. Well, correction, it cycled perfectly with subs with the can on. Without the can on, it was a bolt action. Contacted Noveske, let them know that, hey, I have made a couple of different changes, like I wanted the quad rail and things like that. And ultimately it ended up being the A5 system that I wanted on here. The A5 stock and spring and an H2 buffer was just a little too much. So I had to get a less power spring in here to actually get the gun to cycle, but now it functions flawlessly. Love this thing. It has a Streamlight Pro Tac flashlight on it. I think it's like 1,000 lumens with the switch. It's pretty bright. You also have the Trijicon MRO on the Skylarworks mount. Super solid little gun. yeah, I mean, not really much to say about it. Also has a rear end muzzle device on it. Also has a Geissele 3-gun in it. This is like my trunk or frunk shit hit the fan gun. This is what I would have with me with my sidearm if I had to go make some things happen. That's what we'll say for social media purposes. All right, so next up we're going to do the LMT. This is my LMT 8.6 blackout. LMT lower, of course, either you go with their mono upper, which I just don't like the idea of having a mono upper being one entire piece, because I like different hand guards. I like to change things out. I like to change my barrels out. I want to be able to, you know, do whatever I want to do with my gun without being restricted to LMT. Although I will eventually get a full LMT build, that gun will just have one specific purpose. This one here, the LMT lower, I knew for a fact that when I got that no matter what, I could always take all of this stuff off and change it if 8.6 becomes ridiculously expensive in a couple of years or whatever it may be. Luth AR stock. It has the Break Arms Warhammer. Gun is clear, of course. It has the F1 Firearms Rose Gold Bolt Carrier. 16-inch Faxon barrel. Another rear end muzzle device. I think it's the PRS or the R2S or something like that. But it's a solid muzzle device, and the heat treatment looks good, of course. This thing is trash. I don't even know where it came from, but it was in the box. The box of parts that I have. So as soon as I got the gun together, I knew it needed a bipod, so that's what ended up going on there temporarily. The Die-Free Co. These are my grips, man. I advocate for these guys. The Die-Free Co. Topo, done by Boise Black Rifle NFD, couldn't ask for more. And then this gun, since it's made to do kind of what the 6R's made to do, hunt and things like that, I put the 2-stage Geissele in it, but it's also a G trigger. And then Vortex 1-6 PST on a Geissele mount with the Reptilia canted red dot sight mount on there as well. Haven't figured out what I'm gonna put on that, but as soon as I do, we'll have a red dot on here as well. This is more of like a battle rifle, Scarish type gun, but it's, of course, it's an AR-10. But super solid, super solid. Seekins on the trigger guard, but all in all, really solid gun. Super, super quiet. This thing is quieter than some AR-15s with the can on it. It makes no noise. It's actually pretty impressive. When I fired it at the range, I had to actually physically and visually check the chamber to see if anything even left it, because I couldn't hear it and the recoil was so soft. Really cool round. Q did a great job with the whole 8.6 thing. Next up, we have the Mac 1014 shotgun, Benelli M4 clone. Nickel butter, it just feels like butter, man. That's all I can really say about it. Agency Arms handguard is what I put on here so far. I'm going to get the full extension so that it is, instead of 5+1 or whatever, it's going to be 7 total that it can accept. And then we're going to get rid of this stock. I just haven't figured out what I want to do. There's so many different options, but obviously, depending on which social media platform you're on, I can't really do those on video. So we'll see where this ends up, and I'll decide how I'm going to get that type of information to you all. But yeah, overall, super excited for this shotgun. This is something I've wanted forever. So especially in the nickel colorway, you just can't go wrong, man. And Mac has been killing it. Every single thing I've seen Mac, which I have some more products we'll see here shortly, that are just, they're just fire. That's all I can really say about them. While we're on Mac, let's go ahead and take a look at the Mac 5. So this thing right here, what do I say about it? There's plenty of MP5 clones, and I've shot a few of them. And for this one to come in way more competitively priced, I would recommend it. That's the best thing that I can say. I purchased 1,000 rounds of 9mm and went out and just filled a couple of mags, nothing crazy, and I left with about 500 rounds downrange on the first day because it's so fun to shoot, no recoil, super quiet with the can on it. It's pretty dope. This is the Call Valley Precision muzzle brake QD for the cans. Now I know Tri-Lug is king on MP5s, and I do plan on eventually getting a Tri-Lug can. I just haven't decided which one I want to get yet because there's a couple of different options that I'm really liking. Midwest Industries handguard, went ahead and grabbed that on there. Magpul stock, this is an SBR. I SBR'd it the same day I purchased it and it was approved the next day. Could not believe it, I was super excited. The stock wasn't even here yet. So this is the ACSS Primary Arms SLX1 prism scope that's on it. Super dope. The glass is crazy. When you look through it, it looks like you just have a reticle floating in the middle of air. You can't even see the glass, it's so clear. It has the HK Parts ambi safety as well as the HK Parts flat trigger. Super easy installation, and yeah, I mean there's nothing I can say except if you're on the fence, get one. They're fantastic. Mac is even in comments on multiple different videos helping people if they do come up with any type of issue, or even if they just have a question, Mac's responding. So, you know, I fully support those guys out there. All right, on to my last rifle. So this here is my pride and joy right now. This is my night vision gun that I have been busting my hump for. Here, let's clear it. Nothing in the mag. Gun is clear as well. Safe direction. Nothing. That triggers money though. So this is a BCM stock that I have on here. It has the LaRue MBT2S trigger in it. Feels super good. Die-free coat grip again. Radiant safety selector again. Again, man, quality products, you will see them replicated on many of my guns. Probably one of the coolest parts of this build, I went to Sons of Liberty thinking that they were just a regular store here in San Antonio, and actually found out that, one, they're not, but they do actually sell their parts in store, which was super cool because I always see them online, but I never knew that I could find them anywhere locally. So I ended up getting the collab receiver set in black for Sons of Liberty and Forward Control Designs, which is two of my favorite companies. So as soon as I saw it, I knew I had to get it. Took my receiver set to Roman Arms, and they did the RAL 8000. It's not FDE. It is RAL 8000. And then I called Forward Control Designs, and I said, hey, do y'all actually have that handguard in stock in RAL 8000? And they said, yeah, man, we got it. So they actually, as soon as I hit the pay button, I got a tracking number right back because they were waiting for me to send the purchase so they could send it out. Took like 2 or 3 days. They had it right here to me. So super, super dope. All right. And then I have the SMS Laser HFXC. Now, I do not know much about this company, but I kept seeing that they have a full power laser for a really competitive price on the market. And I was like, you know, and it was, the reviews was doing better than some more expensive lasers on the market. So I was like, why would that be? It's got to be something else going on. So I bought one to throw on my night vision gun, and so far I have not been disappointed whatsoever. Incredibly bright laser. You never need it to be that bright. I don't know what you're shooting at, but whatever it is, that's crazy. This gun, that just kind of, it made the gun feel complete. I know a lot of people like to run separate lasers and flashlight setups on their guns, but I actually like it being 2-in-1 because I don't want all the additional bulk. Like, people will go out of their way to get a very small laser and then put a huge flashlight on the side. You're defeating the entire purpose of getting the slim laser. You might as well just got something big and chunky. So for me, this works. I don't want a bunch of stuff hanging off the side of my rifle. So I'm cool with it. It looks super clean, fits in with the rest of the build. On the end here, right on the tip, that's gonna be the Rexcelentium MG7K. I love Rex cans. I will always buy Rex cans. They're quiet, they look cool because it's heat treated, and they stand by their products and they stand by it quickly. If you have an issue, you call Rex or text Rex or email Rex and they will get back to you however they can. If not that day, by the next day, from what I've seen in the past. Not that I've ever had any issues, but anytime I've had a question, they're getting right back to you. So super, 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 super dope. Probably one of the most unique things on this that you won't see often is the clear dust cover. It is clear. It's really hard to see. Here, let me see if I can grab it. There we go. It is a clear dust cover by Battle Arms Development. That's probably one of the only things on here that isn't Forward Controls or Sons of Liberty, but I just felt like it was fitting because the bolt carrier from Forward Control Designs with the dimples is just too nice not to show. Yeah, I mean, that's really all I can say about it. Die-free Co. front Kung Fu and Tiger Claw for the front, and this thing is a shooter. Kratos A5 system in here, of course, with the VL Tour A5H2 in it and spring and anything. It's a do-all rifle. It doesn't have to just be for night vision. Of course, the Romeo 4T and the Aerosocket mount are kind of set up for that purpose, but you definitely don't have to have it that way. Sons of Liberty charge and handle. Everything else is Sons of Liberty or Forward Controls. It's really just a couple of different accent pieces that I prefer from other companies that even if I went and bought the rifle from them today, I would change those parts out again. Nothing against anybody else's parts, but the ones that I'm used to and the ones I'm used to manipulating are what I want to have on every single rifle. That muscle memory, when it comes down to any type of real situation, is going to be what's going to save your ass. Now we're going to move on to handguns. So this is my Glock 19X. This is completely done up now. Started off as a simple little gun. I just wanted small things. And then I've met Kickin' Brass, Texas here in San Antonio. Maybe actually in, I think they're out of like New Braunfels or something like that, Texas. But they did all of the stippling work for me on it. Got it nice and stippled. I got the Gun Co. Makes these awesome flat triggers in crazy different colors, and I like my guns to have kind of a pop, so I went for the teal in this one. I got the Coyote Brown TLR1 because it looks so good on this gun compared to the regular FDE. And then we have the Viridian RFX 35 red dot. Super nice. It's green. It's cheap. They call it the, the poor man's SRO. I have a couple of SROs, so I don't really take any offense to it. I like it just as much as I like the SRO and the fact that it's green. And I think that they now have auto live so that it turns on whenever you pick the gun up. The SRO doesn't even have that. So I'd rather have this, quarter of the cost and be competent in what I have in my hand. Threaded barrel. I always forget the name of the company, but it's their barrel. And then we have the suppressor heights. I think those are night vision suppressor height sights. Love them. Super bright. Even if you're in a room that just doesn't have the light on throughout the day, you can see the sights on. So super impressive gun overall. It likes to go fast, especially if you have a can on it. So next handgun, clear. You gotta excuse how it's set up. This is how it's normally set up whenever I'm at home. This is a full-size Springfield Echelon Overwatch precision trigger in here. We also have the Rook, I think it's Root Precision, yep, Root Precision Magwell that I also have on there. Super quality, love this gun. It is very gassy, and that carbon when you're shooting with the can on covers that sight real quick, but overall it's a fantastic gun. It's my first Springfield I've ever owned actually, and I definitely will have more. TLR1, that's my go-to. Then you also have the Vortex Defender ST on there. Love the red dot, super big window, very clear. This gun overall, just out of the box, didn't need to do anything. It feels great in the hand. The sights co-witness from stock, from factory, with the red dot. Of course, it's optic cut, so that's how I feel all of them should, but most of them don't. Threaded barrel. I mean, just a perfect package. It made me a believer in Springfield when I got this thing. When I felt it in the store, I knew that it was going to be something special. So, like I said, super solid build. Love this gun. And yeah, on to the next. All right, next up we have the Dondada. So it's clear. This is a double stack 1911. This is the Romulus by Alpha Foxtrot. SRO on it. Haven't really done much to it yet. It has an SRO and the Surefire X300 UB. I did go ahead and widen my port up because I was having some underwhelming feelings about the small port that came on it originally, so we went ahead and changed that out. I have another night vision sight because it does take Glock front sights. Let's see if I can get you a good view of that. And then I also have an aluminum grip that is on the way, so that should be here next week, and I'll have an update video about that. If you're interested in any Romulus content, definitely follow me on Instagram because I'm posting there frequently, daily, and you will definitely find what you're looking for. If you have any questions, I'm always available on there, and I'm way easier to access on Instagram. Next, we have the Mac 9 DS Comp. Big old chunky port in there. I mean, this thing here is fire. You may notice a little something's missing. I actually had a SRO on this gun. I had to take it off because of the screws that came with this gun, which seems to be everybody's main complaint with the gun, which is, if that's the only complaint, I'm happy. For the majority of people, they complained that, hey, the optic screws that came with it initially were just garbage. So I took those off and I said, hey, what else do I have laying around? I have a acro, and I never actually had an acro stay on any of my pistols. So I said, let me go ahead and grab the plate for it. So that plate will be here in 2 days or so, and I'm gonna put that on here, and then this gun will be fitted with the acro permanently. But this gun punches well above its weight. It's a fraction of the cost of even the Romulus and many other double stack 1911s that this thing will outshoot. The biggest thing with 1911s and double stacks especially is that you can take the internals from one that shoots fantastic and it costs 17 times the amount of this gun and put them in this gun, and this thing's gonna run. The biggest things that you have to worry about that may not allow that to happen is if you have different poor slide fitment and poor frame fitment and things like that. This thing came out of the box solid, so I'm not worried about anything. If I was to go grab something else and do a little swappy swap, this thing would run exactly like pretty much anything else that I wanted it to run like. I mean, yeah, I have a lot of good things to say about it. It impressed me right out of the box. I went and compared this to the Romulus, and I was super surprised that I was actually more comfortable and felt more confident behind this than the Romulus initially. Of course, I made some changes to the Romulus, and I'm making changes to this, so we'll see how that works out with them upgraded. But for now, yeah, this is a super solid option, especially if you're just getting into the double stack 1911 world. this is something that I would check out. All right, last thing that I'm gonna throw on cam today. I do have a couple of other builds that I have going on, but I want to post those a little bit later once I get them completed. This is my EDC. A lot of people always talk about their EDC. This is what I'm carrying. So this is the Mischief Machine P365X Macro with the integrated comp. Very, very beautiful titanium Cerakoted metal frame for the P365. Streamlight TLR 7X on there with the primary arms micro green dot. Super solid gun. I was underwhelmed with the recoil feel and things like that when I first got it, so I did switch it out to a stainless steel guide rod. Other than that though, I mean, no complaints. Really like it. Eventually I do want to see what the slide options are out there, but for now it's definitely something that I'm going to keep dailying until I find something that's better. But so far it's really hard to find anything better that I don't have. And yeah, I want to say that that's pretty much all that I have for you all today. If you could please do me a favor, like, share, and subscribe my videos, like, share, subscribe to Instagram, like, share, subscribe to posts. I am trying my best to get my name out there, get out and get to shooting with some of the bigger YouTubers and big influencers. I have just as much, if not more, than some of those guys do. They just have a really good following, and I want friends in the community. You know, I want to be one of those people. Not necessarily an influencer, that's not really my goal, but I do want to be somebody that is known in the community and trusted in the community, in the gun community as well as in the actual community in my area. So I'm doing everything I can. I want to train with people. I want to get people trained. I want to be an instructor, you know, all of those things to come down the road. But if you could please, yeah, man, like, share, subscribe for me, and leave me some good stuff in the comments, and I'll catch you on the next one. Thank you.